Hi there, I'm the Reverend Danny Crosby, a Unitarian minister serving congregations in Altrincham and in Urmston in the northwest of England. And I'm offering this devotion as a balm for the heart, for the mind, for the spirit, for the soul. It's titled Friendship, Love and Love Without Prejudice. The stranger is a friend you just don't know. And I'm going to begin with a telling of a tale from Mark Nepo. It's called The Two Tribes, and it's a kind of modern day spin on a creation mythos. So here goes. In the beginning, when the first humans came across each other, it went two ways. Upon seeing someone different, the more fearful one said, "You're different, go away." The other, upon seeing someone not like him, said, "You're different. Come teach me what I don't know." While our reasoning has grown more complicated throughout the centuries, it's essentially the same. Go away or come teach me. Since the beginning, the two tribes have had their philosophies. The go away tribe has always believed that human beings by their nature are self-searching and untrustworthy, in need of control. The go-away tribe believes in stringent laws and constraints, both moral and legal, just to ensure that people don't run amok. The come-teach-me tribe believes that human beings, by their nature, are kind and trustworthy. The come-teach-me tribe believes in empowering laws that cultivate freedom to ensure that people actualize their web of gifts through relationship. The truth is that we are born into both tribes and can move from one to the other depending on the level of our fear. The times of genocide throughout history mark the extreme malignant manifestation of the go-away tribe. Distorted by fear, it's not enough just to say, "Go away." For unbridled fear turns to anger, which normalised turns into prejudice and hate. Such deep, embedded fear dictates that we need to make sure that those who are different can't return, and so we exile them, jail them, hurt them, and in extremely ugly cases, persecute and kill them. However, the times of enlightenment throughout history mark the extreme manifestation of the come-teach-me tribe, which through learning and wonder leads to eras of compassion and cooperation. Empowered by trust, curiosity turns into interdependence and a belief that we are more together than alone. When allowed to blossom, we realise that we need each other and our diversity of gifts to make life whole. So which tribe do you belong in today? I wonder. Now, I recently explored, a couple of weeks ago I think it was, Bronnie Ware's top 5 regrets of the dying. And one of those top 5 regrets was, I wish I'd spent more time with my friends. I've been addressing this of late. To be honest, I was kind of addressing it anyway, but Bronnie's wisdom brought it sharply into focus. Last weekend, one of my oldest friends, Matthew, came to stay. It was great to spend time together. Another very old friend contacted me in the week about going to see a gig later this year. We reconnected more closely in recent times too. There were other older and newer friends for that matter actually, who I've been kind of rebuilding bonds with. It's feeding my heart and my soul, and I hope it's doing the same for them. Old friends and new ones actually are so very important to your soul. Especially old friends, you see, you've known each other through thick and thin. You've been through so much. These deep, old-rooted friendships are kind of chosen kinship, really. You get to choose them much more than you say those deep relationships that you have with family members. So these kind of deep friendships, I guess, these long-term, deep-rooted friendships, they're a kind of chosen family, really. Last Tuesday, the 14th of February, was, of course, Valentine's Day, a day set aside to celebrate romantic love, eros love. And did you know that last Monday, the 13th of February, is known in some circles as Palomines Day? A day when fans of the dude from the Coen brothers' classic movie The Big Lebowski mark the importance of friendship love, filial love. The Church of the Latter-day Dude says this of this particular day. It says the following: Valentine's Day can put a lot of pressure on couples and be a real drag to those who are single. Instead of celebrating romantic love, the Dudist Palomines Day celebrates pals, friendships and good buddies. It occurs one day before Valentine's Day so that those who are in romantic relationships can celebrate it as well. And did you know there's actually an equivalent day for female friends too, which is also marked on February the 13th. This is called Galentine's Day, which states that the female friendships we so heavily rely on are celebrated each year on Galentine's Day on February the 13th, originating from the popular TV show Parks and Recreation. The holiday is all about declaring love and affection to the girls who make up our support systems. Go girl power. So interesting, eh? I think we all recognise the importance of such relationships in our lives. Our hearts and souls need them. These are powerful ties, a kind of kinship network that is beyond ties formed merely by blood. Sometimes water can be thicker than blood, if you like. Now, my little dog Molly is very friendly. She makes friends everywhere. She seems to love people and dogs equally. Havanese are known for this. Like most young dogs, she's very, very playful, especially she loves to play with other dogs. She loves to chase and to be chased, but her favourite game is to wrestle with other dogs, especially as they stand on two hind legs. The hind legs in a Havanese are stronger than their front legs, which allows them to spend a lot of time on two legs rather than four. They've probably gone down quite well in Animal Farm, I guess. In the 5 months that Molly and myself have lived together, she had not yet met another Havanese since she left her family. Well, that all changed last Sunday. She met a little boy Havanese named Toby. They had a wonderful time playing together, particularly wrestling, almost hugging and kissing as they held each other on their hind legs. It was lovely to watch, and hopefully they will meet again. People have asked me since if she knew that Toby was the same breed as her. I don't know, I can't answer that. She did enjoy him as he enjoyed her, but then that's the way that Havanese are. I don't know if she saw Toby as kin or just another dog that she loved playing with. I like to think that she sees all dogs this way, and she does pretty much with every dog she's ever met. She's only been cautious a couple of times. I mean, she loved Big Alf, the massive German Shepherd, and she was wrestling this week with my friend Sophie's youngest of the two Airedale Terriers, Willow, that she has the other day. She had a great time playing together. They were both exhausted the next day. Molly doesn't seem to mind the size or the shape of the dog she plays with. She plays with everyone. She welcomes them all. They're just strangers who have not yet become friends, but they soon will. It's just the way she is. This all got me thinking about how humans are with one another. Do we always see each other as kin, as the same, really, as made of the same stuff? Do we always show another form of love, the love expressed, that's meant to be expressed at least at the core of the religious traditions? Do we express this kind of love to one another? This is called agape love, or selfless love, which is a kind of empathic love, a love without prejudice towards everybody, actually. This may be the most challenging love of all, especially to those who we see as somehow different, as not kin. Human history, and religious history for that matter actually, is littered with violence towards those that we see as different, and the present time no different actually. It's not just something from the past, is it? People have preyed on the suspicion of others, on stranger danger throughout human history, and they still do. Happens today. I've noticed it in this country actually, in a kind of demonisation of transgender people and migrants as well coming to the country. It's happened, been in the news this week in the northwest of England actually, as violence being towards refugees housed in Knowsley, and the murder of Brianna Gay in Colchester in Warrington. Do we see all people as kin? Do we offer kindness to all people without prejudice? Are we suspicious of those that we somehow see as being different to us? I'm sure that everyone can think of times when they have not lived up to the sacred command that we should love one another. I'm sure we've all at times separated ourselves from others. All this thinking brought to my mind the parable of the Good Samaritans told by Jesus, found in the 10th chapter of Luke's Gospel, verses 24 to 37. It begins with this interesting line, which is often not shared when sharing the parable. Blessed are the eyes that see what you see, for I tell you that many prophets and kings desired to see what you see, but did not see it, and to hear what you hear, but did not hear it. And then the parable begins with a question. The parable is about paying attention and acting from agape love. For love is an action. It's about what we do and what we do not do. In the parable, both a priest and a Levite go by the man injured at the side of the road. They see the injured half-dead man, but they pass on by on the other side of the road. They walk on by on the other side of the road. And then a Samaritan, who would be considered the enemy of a traveller from Jerusalem to Jericho, also sees him. But when he sees this traveller dying on the side of the road, he is moved to action. And not only does he help him, but he brings him to a place of safety. He pays for his board and lodgings. He wanted no recognition or thanks for his actions. He was motivated purely by compassion. This is pure altruism. You see, it does exist. This is the perfect example of agape love. A love without prejudice, a love inspired by empathy, for seeing the other as the same and doing what you can when the need is there. This is what we're here for. Now, I think the parable is teaching something very simple, but something very vital. Each of us is capable of all the actions that took place in this story. We are all capable of walking on by, and we are all capable of being the Good Samaritan. We can all be good neighbours to one another. I believe that to see the world through the hopefulness of our potential goodness is what kinship, radical love, accepting all, building the kingdom of love where all are kin here and now. It's about seeing the good and becoming the good that is possible. And then others can see it too. This is what we're here for. This is why we exist, I guess. Sadly, so often in life, we do not see one another as kin though. We see the other somehow as different, as not part of the one human family. The religious traditions at their worst have often perpetuated this, but I don't think it's the essence of their teaching. Just the way that some have emphasised and taught and practised. The first book of the Bible, Genesis, in chapter 1, depicts humanity being created in God's image. So if one is to be a follower of the book, then surely every act done by one person to another is done by and to a person made in that image, that all are part of the one human family. There is a similar suggestion in the Quran, which in the 4th chapter declares, O people, be conscious of your Lord who created you from a single soul and created from her mates, and from them many men and women scattered far and wide. Thus, this suggests a deep unity within the one human family, and that all people are not only created by God, but are descended from a single soul. Buddhism extends this familiarity beyond merely humanity, but to all sentient beings, seeing all individual beings as being like waves on the ocean, Although each wave has a sense of its own separateness, its lesser self, it is better understood as part of the ocean, its greater self, thus suggesting that the key is to awaken to the larger truth that not only are we part of the ocean, but that we are in fact, in essence, the ocean itself. So what we do to one, we do to all. If we damage one aspect of life, we damage all life. Or to paraphrase Jesus, what you do to the least of them, you do to me. This is more than interconnection. It is deep kinship. This in the whole of the family, of the whole of life itself. When you damage one part, you damage all parts, for we are all made from the same stuff. We are part of the one family of life. We share a common heritage. But not only that, we share a common destiny too. We are deeply interconnected in deep, deep, deep kinship. Love of self, love of neighbour, love of God are the foundational stones of so many of the great religious traditions, if not all. The golden rule of compassion is there in the essence at the core of all the great traditions. And the classic example, of course, comes from this story from the Jewish tradition. Note these stories, these mythoses are not factual, but they speak a deep truth about what it is to be human. This is called standing on one foot. A man came to talk with Rabbi Shammai, one of the most famous of all of the rabbis, nearly as famous as Rabbi Hillel. He said, I would like to convert to Judaism and become a Jew, but I don't have much time. I know I have to learn the entire book that you call the Torah, but you must teach it to me while I stand here on one foot. The Torah is the most important Jewish book there is, and this crazy man wanted to learn it while standing on one foot. Why people spent years learning the Torah. It was not something you can learn in 5 minutes. Rabbi Shammai grew angry with this man, and he pushed the man away using a builder's yardstick that he happened to be holding in his hand. The man hurried away, and he found Rabbi Hillel. He said, I would like to convert to Judaism and become a Jew, but I don't have much time. I know I have to learn the entire book you call the Torah, but you must teach it to me while I stand on one foot. To which Rabbi Hillel answered, certainly, stand on one foot. So the man balanced on one foot. Then Hillel said, repeat after me. What is hateful to you, don't do that to someone else. And the man repeated what Hillel had said. What is hateful to me, I won't do that to someone else. That is the whole law, said Hillel. All the rest of the Torah, all the rest of the oral teaching is there to help explain this simple law. Now go and learn it, so it is a part of you. Yeah, simple, isn't it? But it ain't easy. Unfortunately, we fear the other. We fear otherness other times too. So many of us do not see ourselves in the other. Not exactly. We do not always see ourselves in the people that we meet face to face, especially if we perceive some aspect of their humanity as being different to ours. We dehumanize, really. We make them less than by difference. Fear can eat away at the very foundations of our humanity. Fear can block us from the love at the core of our being, the love that is present in life. We can become afraid to risk ourselves in love. We can become afraid of what love can teach us, and we can turn away, or we can tell them to go away. And love, as has been expressed earlier in this, is a universal principle. I consider myself a universalist. I may be a Unitarian minister, but I am a universalist by heart. And universalism preaches the gospel of love and a love for all. There is no partiality in such love, or at least this is the aspiration. This is agape love. It offers an ever-widening, deepening love. It preaches what Russell Miller has titled the larger hope. It is a love that embraces all life, engages in every aspect of existence. It is a universal love. It is born in the come, teach me tribe. It holds out its loving arms and says, come as you are, exactly as you are in this moment, but remain open to loving transformation of what might yet be. I am by instinct a universalist. I am at home in the come, teach me tribe, I believe, depicted in that story we heard at the beginning. That said, like everyone, I have not always made my camp there. Fear has at times taken over me, fear of the other, fear of the stranger. I'm as human as everybody else. I don't pretend that that's not part of who I am. I have taken residence with the Go Away tribe. And you know what? I have at times mistaken which tribe I was in at that moment. I have thought I was in the Come Teach Me tribe, when in truth I'd taken up residence, or part of me was still in the Go Away tribe. It's usually been when I've not wanted to spend time with those that are fearful, those that are too negative. And I've somehow believed that I'm above these things. I'm not like them. I've rejected, and in doing so, I have rejected the call to love because I was afraid of becoming vulnerable by showing them love. I have been like the priest and the Levite in that classic parable of the Good Samaritan. I have walked by on the other side because I was afraid of getting caught up in the suffering of others. I have averted my eyes. I have been unable to see what was in front of me by doing so. But I don't hate myself for that either. This is very human. What I do is attempt each day to begin again in love, to return to the core message of love. And remember, as I fall short, so does everybody else. We can all begin again in love. We all know fear at times. We all turn away from suffering. We all feel fear of the unknown, those that we consider different. The truth is, though, that we all belong to the same tribe, the one human family. There are not actually two tribes. It's a mythological tale, this. There's just one tribe, one human family. Love calls us to recognise that in each other, and of course to recognise it in ourselves, so that we can live by the sacred command to love one another, including ourselves. So I say to you, let's continue on in love, walking side by side. We need not fear the stranger. We need not fear the unknown, the unfamiliar. We can all begin. We can begin to build that kingdom of love right here, right now. For after all, a stranger's a friend that you just don't yet know. Amen. I'm going to end with the following piece, beginning again on the continuous journey by Marta I. Valentine. I invite you to listen to these words prayerfully. By the grace of the divine power, which is larger hearted than we can ever imagine, we are constantly given the opportunity to begin again. As the signposts along the continuous journey suggest twists and turns we had not brought into view, for the focus was on the mountain just up ahead beyond the ridge. By the faith of the divine power that lives through the trust of our human ability, we are constantly offered the challenge to test the waters, not just smooth the inevitable ripples to a scented-gloss finish as if they were the goal in life, losing all character by not realising the swells are what make life interesting, intriguing and indescribable. By the Lord of the divine power, whose very core is compassion for our earthly missteps on the journey, we are constantly given an opening to remember that we each have a place in the kingdom of humanity, and the knowledge and the courage to begin again toward a faith-filled loving grace that is our birthright. So I'm going to end with some final words of blessing. We need to bless more. We can all bless, and we bless when we give ourselves wholeheartedly to life. So let's go in peace, in love, deeply regarding one another, truly listening to each other, speaking what each of us must speak, and being ready in any moment to disarm our own hearts and always to live as if the realm of love had already begun. And may the blessings of God go with us all, and may it do so in all that we feel, in all that we think, in all that we say, and in all that we do. Go in love, go in peace. Amen.